Now this is the second question of week 2, and week 2 day 1. It is the second question after the maximum consecutive ones question. In this question, like this question is of single numbers. In this question we will be given an array of elements, and elements will going to have duplicates there in the array, but we have to find that element which has no repetitions or duplicates, or it will not going to be in the array multiple times. So these are the examples that will be given. As per the example, I can see that the rest of the elements will going to be repeated twice probably, yeah, and we have to return that element that has no duplicate, or that is only one time in the entire array. So the approach that we are going to use here is that first I did some mistake in the initial approach. I tried to do it in the way of first of all searching the element, like the element we are encountering, then first of all we are searching that element in the entire array first with linear search, and if we are finding, then kind of try, I don't know what I tried, but something like that. If we are finding that element, we are counting the occurrence of the element. I tried to solve it by the previous method of max count, I guess. Yeah, that's why thing got confusing. Like when I tried the question initially, I did this mistake because I need more clarity for solving problems. So this is a wrong approach, honestly. Even though somehow it got solved, but its time complexity was big O n square. I don't think it got solved, sorry. So this is the correct approach that I got guided later on from internet. And this approach says that whenever we are going to have, like, we will be told to return that element which does not has a repetition, so there we can perform XOR operation, because XOR operation has an application where it cancel out pairs. Like that means if XOR operation can cancel out pairs, that means if a number is repeated twice, like if it has duplicate and it has 2 times repetition, then it will going to eliminate that pairing, and it will going to return the single time element only, like the element which is not there in the array in pair. So this thing we can use here. So let us first see the code that we are going to do. So this is the function we are defining, then we are taking a variable with like 0 as the initial value, then we are iterating the array nums, and here we are performing the XOR operation, like result XOR equal to I, like we are going to perform the XOR operation and then we are going to return the result. But the question can arise that how this thing is getting applicable. So let's see the application. So initially we know the result is 0 and we have some array. So, and from each elements of the array, the I is iterating each of the elements of the array, right? So let's see the example. So let us see that nums is the array, and initially our result is 0. So first, in the first iteration, our element will be the ith element will be 4. The 0th element is 4. So we are going to perform the XOR operation. So what is the XOR operation? Like we are doing result equal to result XOR I, right? So result is 0, I is 4. So we are going to do it in binary. Like obviously XOR operation will be in binary format. It is bitwise XOR, that's why. So bit by bit the calculation will take place. So we are going to do the XOR. Like XOR means what? When the similar things, then 0. When the things are different, then 1. Same bit 0, different bit 1. So it gives 4. Okay. Then in the next iteration, the I is 1. So again we perform the same thing, but here the result value is already incremented here to 4. So result here will be 4, and then the i's value is here 1. So we again perform the XOR operation and then we got 5. Similarly for the next element we are going to perform, like now the result is 5 as we got from here, and then we are going to like with I, here the I is 2 means in binary this 0 1 0, then we perform, then we got a result. Similarly we are going to perform for the rest of the elements. But here observe a pattern that whenever repetition is there, like we can see 1 is repeated twice here and here. So let's just see the two of the cases. Like in this case 1 was repeated, it was 5, and another time 1 was repeated was that here. So when we are suddenly trying to see, we cannot see any proper difference. So let us just observe all the results first. So here first observe one thing, like we understood how the each calculation takes place, but one observation that in first case when we calculated, like in the total first case here we had 4 as the result, right? But in the second case when I is 1, for the next iteration, like whatever the value is here, that value is getting added, like we can kind of say that. So it was 4, then it turned to 5. Then when the next element is 2, it is an observation, it is, I don't know if it has a logic or not, but 5 plus 2 is 7 here. And see, after the binary XOR, that additional value is coming, that if we adding the element we are encountering in the array, if we add it with this result, that addition kind of result is coming after the XOR operation. So I am not really sure if it has a proper logic like that in any books, but it's just my observation. And but see, when in the next case we are again encountering the duplicate element, like here also there 1 was present, but when the second time 1 is present, we can think that after XOR operation this should be turning into 8 as per the previous observation. But see, 1 is getting decreased, right? And even in the same case when 2 is again getting repeated, instead of addition the subtraction is getting occurring. So we can say, therefore when XOR operation is taking place, while the time of duplicate elements, means why we are telling that XOR is cancelling the duplicate elements, because while we can see when the operation is taking place, like if we say for one element it is getting added once, but again when the one element is repeating, then it is getting subtracted. So it is neutralizing, it is cutting each other. So like that I think this logic is built, like how XOR operation eliminates pairs. So this is my observation as per the result of the code, and here is the code. Here is the code, and let's run it. Okay, that's all.